Get the hell away from me. Do you really think a loser like you is worthy of fathering my child? The man who once held the city in the palm of his hand was now on his knees in the dirt. He begged me to keep our baby. I responded by kicking him in the chest. His eyes, rimmed with exhaustion and fury, locked onto mine. Naomi, I swear to God, don't let me ever see you again. 5 years later, he reclaimed his throne, the wealthiest titan in the city, unstoppable, cold. Outside the airport arrivals terminal, I held the hand of a little boy who shared his exact jawline and brooding eyes. I tapped on the tinted glass of a Rolls-Royce. The window slid down. Archie, I said, smoothing the boy's hair. Say hello to Daddy. Alistair stared at the miniature version of himself. His face went dark. The temperature dropped 10 degrees. What kind of sick game are you playing now? Chapter 1. Even when Alistair hit rock bottom, he treated me like I was fragile glass. The man was a former king of industry, yet he carried the weight of his ruin with a terrifying kind of grace. He ate stale gas station sandwiches just to buy me fresh organic berries. He wore shirts with fraying cuffs so I wouldn't have to sell my designer bag. I'll rise again, Naomi, he would say, his voice rough with fatigue but steady as steel. Just wait for me. I won't let you suffer. I promise. He would borrow money. He would beg. He would take whatever tantrum I threw, whatever object I smashed. Just keep the baby, he begged. That's all. He didn't know the truth. I wasn't just Naomi. I was a transmigrator trapped in a narrative I couldn't control, shackled to the role of the wicked ex-wife. The script demanded cruelty. We stood on the cracked pavement outside our rental. He was on his knees, clutching my hand, begging me not to terminate the pregnancy. My phone buzzed. The sound was like a gunshot in the silence. Ms. Naomi, the receptionist's voice was crisp, professional. Your surgery is scheduled for 1 p.m. today. Please be on time. I hung up. Alistair closed his eyes. It wasn't a blink. It was a collapse. The light inside him simply went out. He swallowed hard, fighting to keep his voice from breaking. He was trying to salvage my conscience, to find a heartbeat where there was none. The baby didn't do anything wrong, he whispered. Please, Naomi, don't do this. He gripped the hem of my skirt. His knuckles were white. His pride was gone, dissolved in fear. I swear, I'll work harder. I'll make enough. You and the baby, you'll have everything. I looked down at him. I knew he would make it. His bankruptcy was just a plot device, a temporary setback before his meteoric rise. 5 years from now, Alistair would be the terrifyingly powerful king of commerce. He would have the world. He would have Madison, the gentle, kind heroine who would heal his heart. And I was the trauma, the villain the world would spit on. The system's warning blared in my skull. Execute the script. I pulled my skirt free from his grip and kicked him hard. He stumbled back, shock replacing the grief on his face. You want me to birth this thing? I laughed, cold and sharp. Not a chance in hell. I looked him up and down, sneering at his worn-out shoes. Look at you. You reek of poverty. It's disgusting. I leaned in, delivering the final blow. I must have been blind to choose you over Bryce. At least he has a future. You're nothing. I turned on my heel. I didn't look back. Behind me, I heard the sound of something breaking inside him. He sat paralyzed on the dirty ground, staring at my retreating figure with a darkness that could swallow the sun. Naomi, he choked out, the hate vibrating in every syllable. Don't let me see you again. Sorry, Alistair. I failed you on that one. 5 years later, he rose from the ashes, and I came back, with his son. Chapter 2. The sun in the city didn't just shine, it burned. 5 years ago, the system held a gun to my head, forcing me to play the villain and shatter Alistair's heart. Today, the leash snapped. The system unbound itself. Translation, I was finally free to be me. I tightened my grip on Archie's hand and walked out of the terminal. A Bentley purred at the curb. The rear window glided down, framing a profile carved from cold marble. Alistair. He sat in the back, immaculate in a bespoke suit. 5 years hadn't aged him. It had simply sharpened his edges. He looked colder, more dangerous. The door opened. A woman in a flowing aqua dress stepped out. She offered Alistair a smile that was all sugar and light. Thanks for picking me up. I recognized her instantly. Madison, the canon heroine, the soulmate. Luckily, they were barely past the acquaintance stage. I bent down to my 5-year-old son's level. Archie, you see the man in the car? That's your daddy. I smoothed his collar. Mommy's happiness is in your hands now. Archie flashed me a confident okay sign. Got it. Clutching his superhero action figure, he sprinted toward the Bentley. His voice was a sweet, sugar-coated missile. Daddy. Alistair's head snapped toward the sound. His composure cracked. His pupils dilated, trembling with a chaotic mix of shock, confusion, and sudden, overwhelming recognition. There was no denying biology. Archie wasn't just similar, he was the spitting image of Alistair, shrunk down and given a brighter smile. Daddy, I've missed you so much. Archie pressed his hands against the car door, looking up with wide, adoring eyes. Mommy shows me your picture every day. I'm so happy to finally see the real you. Then, the little traitor pointed a finger back at me. Mommy missed you too. Alistair's gaze followed the boy's finger. The moment his eyes landed on me, the awe vanished. The temperature plummeted. His eyes went dead. I walked up to the car, leaning in slightly. Long time no see. Madison, still standing by the door, felt the shift. Her smile faltered. Alistair, who is she? I turned to her, offering my most dazzling, sharp-edged smile. Hi, I'm Naomi, Alistair's ex-wife. The color drained from Madison's face. Her smile disintegrated, and her eyes instantly welled up with tears. Archie tilted his head, looking at her with innocent brutality. Lady, we're having a family reunion. Why are you crying? Madison clenched her hands at her side, her knuckles turning white. She liked Alistair, that was obvious, but they were strictly business partners right now. She had no ring, no title, and absolutely no right to throw a jealousy tantrum. Alistair was glaring at me with pure hatred, but I knew what I saw. Before his gaze landed on me when he was just looking at Archie. He had been grinning like a kid on Christmas morning. Chapter 3. Alistair turned his head toward Madison. His voice was polite, but it carried the finality of a gavel strike. I apologize. I have a family situation to handle. We'll have to reschedule the contract review. Madison knew when she wasn't wanted. She opened her door, but as she brushed past me on the curb, she leaned in. Her voice dropped to a territorial hiss meant only for my ears. You're just the ex-wife. Her eyes narrowed. I'm the future. God, I hate these trashy romance tropes. Why does the universe always demand a greedy, villainous ex just to make the saintly, money-hating heroine look better? Why couldn't we just skip the drama and be a happy, wealthy family? I kept my smile plastic perfect. Actually, I said, loud enough for the wind to carry it. We're getting remarried. You. Madison's jaw worked. Her face twisted into a scowl before she stomped away. I turned back to the car. Archie was already scrambling into the back seat, burying his face in Alistair's expensive suit. Daddy, Daddy. Alistair held the boy, grinning like a fool. It was pure, unfiltered joy, until he looked up and saw me. The smile vanished. The shutters came down. The ride home was suffocating. Alistair didn't say a word. He wouldn't fight in front of our son. As soon as we walked through the front door of the mansion, Nancy, the housekeeper, appeared. Nancy, take Archie to get cleaned up and rest, Alistair ordered. The moment the boy was out of earshot, the temperature in the room dropped to sub-zero. Alistair collapsed onto the leather sofa and stared at me with eyes like frozen glass. I appreciate you having him. I'll take full custody from here. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a black card, and slid it across the coffee table. Take the money. Get out. I didn't move. His brow furrowed, impatience radiating off him in waves. It's an unlimited black card. Is that not enough for your appetite? Of course. In his mind, I was still the gold digger. The woman who only spoke the language of currency. He thought I was holding out for a better offer. I didn't take the card. I walked over to the sofa and straddled his lap. My arms looped loosely around his neck. I leaned in, invading his personal space until I could count the eyelashes framing his cold eyes. Hey, handsome. Long time no see. Miss me? His entire body went rigid. Muscle turned to stone beneath my thighs. For a split second, I felt his breath hitch, a tiny, traitorous reaction, before he gripped my wrist. He tried to pry me off, his grip bruising. What kind of sick game are you playing now? As he pushed, I pulled. My dress was a strapless number. The struggle worked against gravity. The fabric slipped, dipping dangerously low. Alistair's gaze dropped involuntarily. His ears turned a violent shade of red. Cover yourself up, he gritted out, his voice tight. I buried my face in the crook of his neck, inhaling the scent of sandalwood and suppressed rage. I rubbed my cheek against his skin. Make me, Naomi. The anger vibrated in his chest, resonating against my own. You threw me away like I was nothing. What the hell do you want? Regret. I whispered against his pulse point. I want to fix this. I want us back. Is that so? A dark, jagged laugh tore from his throat. He moved fast. 1 second I was on his lap. The next I was pinned to the mattress in the master bedroom. He hovered over me, his weight heavy, threatening. You want to play house? You want to be a wife? He sneered. Fine. Let's start with your marital duties. He was bluffing. He was trying to disgust me. He remembered the old Naomi, the one who flinched if his hand brushed hers, the one who acted like his touch was poison. He expected me to scream, to push him away. He didn't know I'd been craving this for 5 years. Bet. I didn't flinch. I reached up. My fingers hooked onto the top button of his dress shirt. He froze. He stopped breathing. He watched my hands, his eyes wide with a mixture of shock and wariness, waiting for the inevitable recoil. It never came. The buttons gave way under my fingers. The shirt fell open. I stared at the landscape of his torso, the heavy, rapid rise and fall of his chest, the thick, ropey veins traversing his abdomen, pulsing with adrenaline. The skin was hot, radiating a feverish heat that I could feel without even touching him. I didn't just look. I flattened my palm against his stomach, feeling the hard ridges of muscle jump under my touch. I traced a vein downward.